This is Batman lamp. During the day, it just looks like a plain white lamp, nothing special. From a man on a bridge, to a fancy mansion, to the highway, and finally to the city skyline. You wonder where Batman is? Yes, you're right, because you cannot see him in the daylight. When the city sleeps, Batman begins. I heard that Bruce Wayne is secretly mass-producing this lamp inside his cave. In order to build it, we have to first know how to hide this dinosaur inside a shadow. Ever played with shadows on the walls? Back then, when we didn't have smartphones, we had to invent our own games to play. Beautiful times. Can you imagine what kind of art it would be if pushed to the extreme? Some people took the simple game and turned it into a beautiful art form, and it's called Shadow Puppet Theater. This is originated from China more than 2,000 years ago. And here's something interesting about how Shadow Theater works. Now, the audience sits on the opposite side of the screen from the light. When a light shines from the behind and the figures cast shadows, and that's when the audience finally sees the image. Before the light turns on, there's nothing to see. Once it's on, the shadow appears. But there's one problem. To show the details enough, the screen has to be super thin. But because it's too thin, when outside light is turned on, audience can still see it. In practice, the actor controls this by sticking the figure onto the screen and then pulling it off. To successfully hide something inside a shadow, we can either A. Take one of the performer and somehow shrink him into teeny tiny size and put him inside a box to control the figure. Or B. Leave the figure in place and make the screen thick enough and trade off some details so you cannot see the shadow until the light turns on. Well, the latter sounds slightly easier, so we'll go for it. To actually make this into a physical product, we need a combination of good lighting and a good design. First of all, let's get the lamp. I wanted a lamp that's under 20 centimeters, small enough to handle easily, and ideally where I could remove the lamp shade and replace it with my own custom design. Wireless would be even much better. After some searching, I found a lamp at IKEA that looked perfect. Just to be safe, I bought two of it. When they arrived and I unboxed them, my first thought was, wait, why does it look like boobs? Then I inserted the battery and turned on the light and started changing colors. And now it looks like a cyberpunk boob. Anyway, with lampshade on, it's working fine as expected, so I'll say it's a success. I needed a symbol that literally changes between day and night, and something iconic. I narrowed it down to two options. Batman, of course, and Princess Fiona from Shrek. Both characters were iconic, and both characters dramatically changed between day and night. It was really difficult to choose, but at the last minute, Fiona got disqualified. Because after she met Shrek and found a true love, she stopped changing at night. Well, you can't really have a nightlife after marriage, can you? Anyway, after decision, I did some research on Batman. From comics to movies and of course memes, I went deep down the Bat rabbit hole. The goal was to figure out what to put on each of the 5 faces of the lamp, so we need 5 images to represent most iconic sides of Batman. Finally, I decided on this lineup for the design: Gotham City map, Batman's costume, Gotham City skyline, the highway for the Batmobile, and the house with the Batcave. And by the way, I also discovered a bunch of interesting things about Batman. There is a T-Rex robot and a giant coin in the Batcave. the movies keep getting darker and darker. And apparently, Batman quickly removes his smoky makeup before his face reveal, and possibly after makeup too. Good to know, right? But the time to build the actual lamp has come, so let's move on. When I looked at how the lampshade connects to the body, I found the lampshade at a small bump that fits perfectly into the main body. That's how it locks in place. So, to make my custom lampshade, I decided to make a rectangular shade, but keep the same structure at the bottom so it can still fit. I grabbed one of the lamp and took some measurements. Actually, wrong part, I was supposed to measure the bottom. After fixing that, I moved everything into CAD program, designed it by dimension, printed it, cut it, and tested it on the lamp. There's a bit of light leaking through the corners, but overall, I like it. There's this scene from the comics where Batman and Bruce Wayne face each other. I found it so powerful that I wanted to recreate it. But here's my twist. Since Batman wears dark heavy armor, what if during the day you see Bruce Wayne, and at the night the lamp turns on, Batman appears in shadow? I'm genius. Then I quickly realized the scale is too small to capture that kind of detail. So I changed plans, focused only on the head and the mask. Sketch it out, move to CAD program, print it, build it, and turn off the light for proper testing. And why does it look so blurry? First of all, the frontmost layer becomes the darkest, so it's the most visible. And also each paper has quite a lot of thickness, so it diffuses the light more than I thought. So the more layer you stack, the stronger the diffusion gets. We originally planned for 3 layers, but that makes it much thicker and much blurrier. So we have to change the plan. To remove diffusion and make the effect more dramatic, the shadow has to stay dark with thick paper, but the screen itself should be as thin as possible so it doesn't scatter the light. And since the front layer is the most visible anyway, I made front layer design as simple as possible so that when layered with shadow, it looks blended. Then I started designing everything again from scratch, hoping it's gonna be worth it. So curious about how it turned out? Here's the final version. Batman on a bridge, city with bat signal, highway and Batmobile, and finally Wayne Manor with Batcave. I forgot to mention one thing. I hide a small symbol inside the map of Gotham. I realized the Batman symbol doesn't merely belong to one man, but as a symbol of hope, it belongs to the city. Well, maybe I should make a lamp for Robin next time. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up and subscribe if you liked it. Cheers.